Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get things started. Welcome all here today to this fantastic venue at the Museum of Limerick. Thanks for joining us on a lovely, bright November afternoon. We're going to start with a few words from the Managing Editor of the Limerick Writers Centre. So everybody, please welcome Dominic Taylor.
Okay, welcome everybody, and welcome to the People's Museum of Limerick. It's wonderful to see so many of you here today to celebrate not just a book, but a beginning. Today marks the launch of Sinclair's Secret by Choi, writing as Clarence Winter, and with it, the debut of Savoy Editions, a new fiction imprint from the Limerick Writers Centre. This is a moment of pride for our literary community, and I'm honoured to share it with all of you here. We all know that publishing is changing. Lots of publishers today say they want great stories, but what they really seem to want is followers on TikTok, Facebook, podcast audiences. And with the arrival of AI, there is a danger that writing is being reduced to just content production. And this will be very noticeable now in the run-up to Christmas, where we're going to see an awful lot of celebrity books being published. Limerick Writers Centre has always believed that stories matter, and that the people who tell them matter even more. For years, we've worked to make writing and publishing accessible to everyone, regardless of background, experience, or circumstance. With Revival Press and Limerick Writers Centre Publishing already part of our family, Savoy Editions arrives as the next chapter in that commitment, focusing exclusively on fiction, novels and short story collections that span the full spectrum from genre to literary works, with a special welcome for debut authors. We're not chasing bestseller lists or mass production. Savoy Editions will produce limited, carefully manufactured print runs, books made with intention, care and respect for both writer and reader. Quality over quantity, craft over haste. We believe that every book deserves to be beautiful and every author deserves to be heard. We're wrestling with how we can encourage aspiring writers to develop their skills and write better stories, while also doing what publishers are supposed to do. To this end, we hope to make available in the future opportunities for aspiring writers to develop their craft further. But here's what truly excites us. We want every Savoy Edition book to act as a talisman for other writers. We believe that even in limited editions, each book has the power to inspire someone to pursue their own writing dream. Many of you may have heard of the avant-garde rock band, The Velvet Underground. Well, back in the 60s, their first album sold only 300 copies. But there's a wonderful legend that says that every person who bought that album went on to form a band. That's our dream for Savoy Editions. We may publish limited runs, but if each book inspires even one person to pick up a pen, to join a writing group, to believe that their story matters, then we've created something far more valuable than a bestseller. We're creating a movement, one writer at a time. And coincidentally, the name, The Velvet Underground, was taken by the band from a paperback book. So what better way for us to begin than with Choi writing as Clarence Winter and Sinclair's Secret. Dylan's journey is one that reflects the heart of what we do at Limerick Writers Centre. He discovered his passion for writing before even finishing secondary school. From 2018 to 2020, he was part of our writing groups at the Limerick Writers Centre, honing his voice and building his craft. Today he writes with the V94 Write Offs group and has completed creative writing courses at Limerick College of Further Education. His path has been one of dedication, community and persistence, and now he holds the results in his hands. Sinclair's Secret is a book born from this city, shaped by its rhythms and people, and we're proud to see it take flight. And I'm also proud to say that this book is the 209th title that Limerick Writers Centre has published across its 3 imprints since 2008. But Dylan's book is just the first. Before Christmas, Savoy Editions will also release The Loft Window, a short story collection by County Kerry award-winning writer Neil Brosnan. And On the Way Out, a novel by Liam Horan, winner of our Gerald Griffin Competition for First Adult Fiction 2025. 3 voices, 3 visions, 3 stories that might not have been told without a space like this, a community like ours. At Limerick Writers Centre, we believe that everyone has a story worth telling. We invite anyone interested in writing to join us, to learn with us, to grow with us, because the truth is, the next book we publish could be yours. So let's celebrate Dylan today. Let's celebrate Savoy Editions, and let's celebrate the power of community, of craft, of taking that terrifying, thrilling leap to share your story with the world. Thank you all for being here. And before I finish, I'd just like to thank the staff of the People's Museum of Limerick for hosting us, and who have hosted us for a long number of years now. And of course our volunteers at the centre. And to Tom McElligott, a writer who will shortly officially launch Dylan's book. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dominic. So, as Dominic said, up next to help us formally introduce this fantastic novel, a writer who scarcely needs an introduction from me, fantastic Tom McElligott.
Thanks very much. Close your mouth. Welcome to the launch of Sinclair Secret by Clarence Winter, Dylan. And it's a great to see a big crowd here, great support, and Dominic earlier mentioned V94, and great to see the support down there for Dylan today. Just a little bit of the art of writing. It can be frustrating, it can be solitary, lonely, you can have the writer's block where you can't do anything. But of course, it must be enjoyable and rewarding. And I think from where I would go, and most writers would say like that, you've got to want to do it, you've got to have that focus, and it will happen. You know, whether it's poetry, fiction, flash fiction, memoir, historical, or other. But the key thing is you need to do it, and by way of enthusiasm, James Joyce once said that he had a great morning's work. He got 4 words, so you know. I first met them in 2018 at the Limerick Writers Group, just across the road in Barrington Street. And at this we exchanged our writing, critiqued it, and it helped to sort of encourage new writers and to improve on their writing, young writers and old as well, and to point out certain things discreetly that mightn't have been what they should be. But from Dylan, the first thing I noticed at that time was his determination. From a young guy in writing, he was determined to write his book, and secondly, he was very determined to actually have it published. And over the years, COVID unfortunately knocked out our Limerick Writers Group meeting, but then later we had the V94, and within that, Dylan has been in touch over that number of years all the time, and the one focus was on it. He wanted to publish that book, he wanted to finish the story, and so, you know, here we are today. The storyline, briefly, without giving away too much, is about an American student in college in the USA who was blackmailed into getting into the underground of the college to see if he can suss out a movement at the behest of the American government. And with that, I'm going to read 2 short passages which will illustrate what it is. The first one goes like, thanks to Simon Mendel's attack, the trip to Kolazi is pushed back to the 7th of October. Nolan announced this to me and Alice when he brought us to lunch. He also told me that Sinclair wanted to delay the trip until the 14th. But of course, Ramirez insisted that we go on the 7th. I can believe what Nolan said about Ramirez, but not what he said about Sinclair. It doesn't make sense for two to disagree on anything. Nobody else has done that, not even President Gordon. Alice and I were allowed to leave the planning room after dinner, but we were to eat our meals there indefinitely until it was safe to return to the dining hall. Alexis and Nathan do eat with us for the first 2 days of October, but on the 3rd, Ramirez's bodyguards arrive and inform us that Nathan and Alexis are here to eat in the dining hall. I won't read much more, but it just gives you a flavour of possibly the mystique or the espionage, which he covers very well throughout his book. And his writing is strong. The second passage, I'm reading it for a particular reason. My dad is planning something for you, Quincy. I overheard him on the phone last night talking to Raymond Barkley. I couldn't find out more because I was nearly spotted by our butler. That's definitely father, said Alexis. Simon Mendel's girlfriend, right? Yes, I'd say that his girlfriend would have a trap ready for us when we go back to Sinclair's. Do they know about this place, I asked. I don't think so. The Executive 8 never attacked us outside Sinclair's. We should be fine. What about Alice? Is she safe? Nathan shrugged. For now, until she returns to Sinclair's at least, the three of us would be more valuable targets. I'm reading that from the point of view of dialogue. A lot of writers don't favour dialogue and they don't want to go there because they find it difficult. But this piece here shows how Dylan's dialogue all through the book, he has mastered the art of the dialogue, and that's why I wanted to bring that to the fore. I hope that you enjoy reading the book that Dylan has succeeded in writing and having it published today. And with that, I can't let the moment go by. Dominic earlier spoke about Creative Writing, which is the director. And without Dominic, none of this would happen. So I think we give him a big applause. I'd like to congratulate Dylan on his achievement. All those years since we've been around, he always had the focus to get to the end. So here we are today. Well done. And my counting shot really is back to writing again. And this is one of my copy house that you have to want to do it. And I see some young writers and maybe other would-be writers down here. But if they can take anything from here today, and Dominic has already passed out the invitation, get involved and feel as if you want to do it, you do it. So there goes the invite. And my last parting shot, and this comes from the point of being a writer, the pleasure of writing for the writer is in seeing those who read it enjoy it. And that's where I am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Great that there's still people coming in. You've managed to get here just in time for the main event. Please welcome the man, Dylan Choi, the author, Clarence Winter.
Dominic, I thank you for those kind words earlier, and I thank Savoy Editions for giving me this opportunity to be your first published piece. Tom, I thank you for setting the stage for me, even though you might have overrated me a bit earlier. And the rest of you, I thank you for coming here for this occasion. I doubt I'll be as good as those refreshments over there, but I'll give my best shot. Now, this story I've told, it might be my first published piece, but it's not even the first piece I've written. It was supposed to be the sequel to my first book, Dimitri's Den. And this story was to be a sequel to Dimitri, to show off a bit more of this alternate America that I hinted at what life was actually like for an actual American. Before I can get Dimitri published, I'll have to bring it up to the expected stand before I can try swimming it again. And as Tom said, I have always wanted to be published, that this always was the dream for me. And after almost 8 years, I didn't think I actually would get published after getting rejected by a few companies that I found from the Writers and Artists Yearbook. So, again, I thank all of you for making this happen, with special thanks to Dominic and the Limerick Writers Centre for deeming this worth not just publishing but worth promoting as well. As has also been hinted at, the story, it does take place in an alternate history, 2010's America. And it does follow Edwin Kinsey, this high school student who investigates this boarding school called Sinclair Academy that has been plagued with rumours since it was first founded in 2009. And while there, he does discover that a gold urn is a gateway to this dimension called Colassing. And if you'll bear with me, I might just read a short passage just to hint at what's coming. What's the matter, Eddie boy? You want to cry? Ramirez walks back over to me, picks up the phone and pats me roughly on the back. Everyone has to die at some point, Eddie boy. The only difference here is that you're the reason your parents are dead. And then he starts laughing. It's not a regular laugh, it's a very loud, obnoxious one, very similar to a hyena. I can also hear the burly men laughing, but frankly not as loud as Ramirez. Eventually they stop laughing and start to leave the room. I think I hear Ramirez say that I must stay in here until someone else arrives, but not paying too much attention to him. How can I have to watch this happen? So Ramirez, he's kind of the initial main antagonist, and I thought I'd read this passage just to give you a hint of what he is, what type of person he is. He's not a nice man. But don't worry, he does get what he deserves later. Sorry, minor spoiler. And finally, before I wrap this all up, I need to once again thank you all for coming here today, and that I hope that this story, it doesn't bore you, that you enjoy it, and that feedback, it is welcome, as long as you're constructive and not destructive with your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you all again for coming. Thanks again to the People's Museum for hosting us today. Most importantly, I think most of you have picked up a copy already, but if you haven't, Marion will be selling them at the back of the room. They make fantastic Christmas presents, but a book worth reading all year round. Kirk Mulvey.
A movie star, well, let's see. She says she's gonna buy a brand new car, well, let's see. Well, I believe it when I see it, believe it when I see it, believe it when I see it, let's see.